One of the things I like about Rapier is it's not a strength battle. It's very much about leverage and angles. And a good example of this is a recent match between Rebecca Little and Brennan from an event called Frost on the Blade. In case you were wondering, Rebecca is the one in blue, and Brennan is the gentleman in black. This first exchange starts with Rebecca circling around to Brennan's right. She wants right into his range and opens her guard, to which Brennan takes full advantage and comes right up the middle. Now, to her credit, Rebecca must have taken note, because you can see when she comes out the second time, she's got that line closed. Her dagger is across exactly where it should be to provide coverage. She continues circling to his right, although perhaps in the future we'll suggest try mixing it up a little bit. But she's making good use of her sword and dagger together, holding her position. He's in a refuse guard now, mostly to deny her the point of his sword. Doesn't give her a lot to work with. You'll notice as she comes around, he switches into a more presented stance. It gives her something to work with. So, yeah, there it is. Dagger on his sword, stab to the face. The only thing that would make this more perfect if she had done them simultaneously. For this next exchange, I think Mom may have had a word about how much space they were using, because she's not circling as much as she did the first time. She's still using her sword and dagger well, and he switches to a more presented stance, like almost a Destreza ward with the point. She just gets her dagger on it and stabs him for it. Beautiful. I think he's starting to take her a little more seriously here, because he's changed his stance and his posture, and he's kind of leaning back away from her a little bit more. He goes for the plunge thrust, but she manages to defend it, and when he gives her the point of his sword, she almost takes it there. She does manage to get her dagger on his sword, but unfortunately her thrust goes just past his mask. To his credit, he acknowledges the blow, but I would have called that insufficient. Let's have a look at this next one. Again, circling off to the right, he pulls back his sword. He's going to give her the tip. She's going to try and take it, and he sets up for the plunge thrust, but she defends it very well. This time he's going to try something different. He's approaching with his sword tipped down. Might be something she's not familiar with, and he gets her to follow the tip of his sword, so she opens up her sword and dagger. He goes right up the middle. That was actually really well done on Brennan's part. Now this one he manages to land the plunge thrust. He gets her to lift her dagger up, and her sword is past his midsection. At this point she should back up, but unfortunately she's a little bit slow, and he manages to get in over top of her dagger. Now for this next one, let's have a look. He comes at her in his presented stance again. She manages to get a small cut across his neck with her sword. Now, I don't think it's sufficient. It looks like she calls it back, which is good. It's also very nice that he acknowledged the blow. But they continue fighting, and well, let's see what happens. So, back and forth, some really nice feel and play with the swords. Disengages and back and forth. No, not quite there. Didn't see anything worth stopping for. She's getting pretty good at picking with the dagger. Or trying to control with the dagger. Oop, there it is. Split with the dagger, open them up, and land your thrust. Well done, Rebecca.